This video will show you how to use the swing trade newsletter parser I created to enter your trades into Thinkorswim using the input from Live Trader's swing trade newsletter that Almal sends out. It's free. You can share it with anyone. It's also used at your own risk, so I'm not responsible for any trades that you make or values that you input as a result of using this spreadsheet. I take advantage of the fact that Almal keeps his input fairly consistent in the way that when he sends out the different trades in the newsletters. And so what I do is I go ahead and copy. Now I'm only going to copy the first three this time because you'll see this one has a target 2 and that will mess up the formatting of the spreadsheet. Most of the time I can copy the whole thing, but when he does a target 1, target 2, I have to only copy in. I have to copy those in separately. So we'll do the first three. I hit Control C, come over here, I paste text only, and you can see that here's his trades, and then it just parses it out. This is the symbol. It's a $6.02 entry. It's a $5.54 stop. A target of $7. The pending is just something I use elsewhere, and it doesn't matter for the spreadsheet. The R value per share for this particular stock, so 48 cents risk for this share, and then a calculated number of shares that you would purchase based upon your input in B1 up here. I currently have it set to $50 because a 48-cent risk doesn't divide evenly into 50. It created a value of 105 shares instead of a percentage. So, and this happens because I round up the value. So there'll actually be, in this case, a slightly higher risk dollar amount than $50. The actual risk amount is shown here. If you want, you can override the number of shares for each different trade. So for this particular trade, I'm going to go ahead and make it 104. You'll see that the risk went down to $49.92. I'm only purchasing 104 shares now. I turn the field red so that it reminds you. So if you come back later and copy a different trade here, you'll know to simply delete the value in here, and then it'll calculate normally. Maybe you like to do even numbers of shares, so you could put in 100 here if you wanted, and you'd see now your risk is $48 instead of 50, and you're buying 100 shares instead of 105. Again, just delete it out to clear it. The order will get placed when you copy and paste it as a first triggers OCO. One cancels others, and I enter it with a stop limit order. The value for the limit part of the stop limit order is determined by the percentage that you input here. Right now I have it at 5%. If you want 10%, then you'll see this value here will change from 605 to 607. So now I would enter the trade at 602 with a stop limit of 607. If you want to override that, you can also put in a value here. Let's say you want to make it an even number or a little looser than some of the other ones, and you put the actual dollar amount in there, and that becomes the stop limit value that's used to enter the trade. Again, I turn it red so that you can easily spot that you've overridden it. If you delete it out, then it calculates normally. At this point, I look over the trade and I say, okay, I like how it looks. You can copy it by doing a Control C. You go into Thinkorswim, go into the order, entering advanced order. Make sure you select first triggers OCO, paste, and then hit confirm and send, and your order is placed as any other order would be. A lot of people use the brackets templates and the trigger with brackets. I don't. I use this copy paste method almost exclusively now. I like to manage the trade in two different ways. So what I'll do is I'll paste it again. Sometimes I get the stop order must have a stop price. If you do, just go ahead and reselect the advanced order type. That'll clear out that error message. I don't know why it shows up sometimes. Hit confirm and send. I now have two orders in for for this particular swing trade. I can manage them separately. I can change the limits on one of them or the stop on one of them or however I want to. So I basically have two $50 risk trades set up for DHT. And this is obviously in the virtual account. And then again, you can manage them any way you want to. You can cancel it how you would normally manage Thinkorswim. This isn't going to be a Thinkorswim demo. It's just showing you how you can use the spreadsheet. Let's do it again. I'll show you just how quick you can do it. So this is Zillow. Go down here, select first triggers OCO, confirm, and my order's in. If we go up to monitor, you'll see that the order's in. Now you also notice I didn't change which chart I was on before I place the order. You don't have to. But if we go to the Zillow chart, we'll see that the order has been placed. One thing to keep in mind, or that you should definitely be aware of, is if you do short sales with the spreadsheet. Let me pull up a short one. It enters it as a day-only order as opposed to a good till canceled order. So you'll see in the parser here, this has GTC. I can't do that with short sales. Thinkorswim won't let me do a short sale with a day only. So we'll go here, we'll paste it. Oops, I forgot to copy it. So let's copy it. Confirm and send. I like to do 2. Confirm and send. We'll see that the orders are in place. This was for TSM. And you see we have the 2 orders in place. If you look at them, they're cancel replace order. It's a day only. It won't let me change this until the order actually executes, and then I'm allowed to change the OCO group into a good till cancel. So if it doesn't execute that day, the order will go away. You have to place it again the next day. If it does execute that day and you forget to change the exits, then what you can do is come back to the spreadsheet if you want. Just select the second third of the trade, and then now I'm just going to select OCO. We'll delete what was there, input this and OCO, and you can go ahead and enter the trade in, or enter your exits for a trade that you're already in, and then of course you can modify them, etc. The other thing you want to be really cautious about is when you do select the type, like if you leave it on single order and you paste, it will only paste the first trade, the first exit in this particular case, and so make sure you selected the correct order type. Make sure you take a quick look at it, that it's how you want the order to be. Let's see, this one should be an OCO, and that it's all entered in correctly. The other thing to be aware of is it doesn't work with limit orders. The calculations work correctly. Most of Anmal's trades are stop orders, but on occasion he'll do a limit order. And so while all the calculations are correct, this would still place it as a stop limit order. So what would happen is if it's above the stop or the limit price, the trade won't execute, but as soon as it gets above the limit price, it will execute. And if you don't have a stop limit, it will just go ahead and execute immediately if the price is above the limit price, because it's actually set as a stop order. So don't use the copy paste to place his limit orders. You can set yourself a couple of alerts by at or around the price, or however you want to do it. I'll fix the spreadsheet so that it handles limit orders. He doesn't do many of them, and when I built the spreadsheet at the time, he hadn't done one yet, so I never put the coding in for it, but it should be a fairly simple thing to fix. I just have to make sure that it puts the order in correctly when we do that. Another thing to note, he sometimes puts a target of to be determined. When he does that, I can't calculate the target. So what I do in these cases is I'll come over to this box where the symbol is, put in the symbol for the stock. In this case, it's PACB. And I'll set my own target. So maybe I'll go, okay, I'm going to set this one at R3. I'll change this one to, what is it, 1986? Or whatever value you want to use. And now I have a target and I can copy and paste. Your other option would be, if he's done that, you can just go ahead and do a different type of order entry and just do the buy and the stop and not have a target. I always make sure I have all three, but you trade however you want to trade. The other thing that he'll do on occasion is he'll leave out the dollar sign on any one of the lines or all three of them. It's a very simple parser, and it's looking for the dollar sign, and so it will it'll cause this error. It's easy to fix. You just go ahead and put in the dollar signs if he's left them out, and it should work as expected. I'm going to put together another video to talk about how I use these values over here, but this will get you started as far as how to use the parser in thinkorswim. Again, feel free to share it with anyone. There's no charge. Do not share on most trades, and it's used at your own risk.